President, I want to add my support to the many voices calling for the confirmation of Solicitor General Elena Kagan to the position of Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. At a time when the discussion of our legal system is so often dominated by ideological labels, Elena Kagan would bring years of practical, pragmatic experience to our highest court. She's extraordinarily well qualified and will bring a valuable new perspective to the court. The highlights of Solicitor General Kagan's career are well known. Most recently, in 2009, she was the first woman to be nominated by a president and confirmed by the Senate to serve as Solicitor General of the United States. In this position, in which she represents the interests of the United States government before the Supreme Court, she has received numerous accolades from a broad range of observers. For example, Professor Michael McConnell, director of the Constitutional Law Center at Stanford Law School and former circuit court judge nominated by George W. Bush, in urging her confirmation, said the following, quote, "Publicly and privately, in her scholarly work and in her arguments on behalf of the United States, Elena Kagan has demonstrated a fidelity to legal principle, even when it means crossing her political and ideological allies." Miguel Estrada, Assistant Solicitor General in the George H.W. Bush administration, said that Solicitor General Kagan, quote, "possesses a formidable intellect, an exemplary temperament, and a rare ability to disagree with others without being disagreeable." And he continued, "She is calm under fire and mature and deliberate in her judgments. If she is confirmed, I would expect her rulings to fall well within the mainstream of current legal thought," close quote. 10 former solicitors general representing both parties praised her, quote, "breadth of experience and a history of great accomplishment in the law," and said further that, quote, "her most recent experience as Solicitor General will serve her well as she wrestles with the difficult questions that come before the court." Among those former solicitors were Justice Antonin Scalia and Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. Among those former Solicitors General were Kenneth Starr and Drew S. Days. I misspoke. In 2003, Elena Kagan was named Dean of the Harvard Law School, the first woman to hold that title. Throughout that distinguished career, she has shown a remarkable knack for reaching out to people across the ideological spectrum. As Harvard Law School's dean, she broadened the school's diversity of legal points of view, strengthened the academic program, and improved quality of life for students and faculty alike. Elena Kagan will bring a different perspective to the court, and we should welcome that. Justice Antonin Scalia put it this way, "Currently," he said, "there is nobody on the court who has not served as a judge, indeed as a federal judge, all 9 of us. I am happy to see that this latest nominee is not a federal judge and not a judge at all," close quote. Elena Kagan's sense of fairness, problem-solving ability, and balance is illustrated by one of the episodes in her career that some have inaccurately criticized her for. During her time as dean at Harvard Law School, that school, like many around the country, had a policy to not use the campus to promote discriminatory activities such as don't ask, don't tell. Some have sought to portray Elena Kagan's actions throughout that episode as anti-military. I find nothing in her words or actions that constitute hostility to the military, quite the opposite. But don't take my word for it. Take the words of former students of hers. For instance, one who, when he received his promotion to captain in the Massachusetts National Guard, asked Elena Kagan to pin on his captain's bars at his promotion ceremony. Hardly an honor for a soldier to bestow on someone who is anti-military. And Captain Robert Merrill, who wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post, put it this way, quote, "She treated the veterans at Harvard like VIPs, and she was a fervent advocate of our veterans associations." He continued, "She was decidedly against Don't Ask, Don't Tell, but that never affected her treatment of those who had served." And listen to First Lieutenant David Tressler, who wrote, quote, "During the brief period when recruiters were not given access to students officially through the law school's Office of Career Services, they still had access to students on campus through other means." He said Kagan's positions on the issue were not anti-military and did not discriminate against members or potential recruiters of the military. She always expressed her support for those who serve in the military, and she encouraged students to consider military service, close quote. Finally, you can take the word of veterans who attended Harvard Law School, who said that, quote, "Elena Kagan has created an environment that is highly supportive of students who have served in the military." Elena Kagan is smart, she's experienced, she's learned, and she's fair. She has the support of a host of organizations, a broad cross-section of organizations, including the National District Attorneys Association, as well as a broad range of prominent scholars. She will make an excellent justice of the Supreme Court, and I hope that she is overwhelmingly confirmed.